Don't you know we're just starting? But you sure we got the clue how that this we go. Don't you know no more art? And as you look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go to cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you is not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done, but the time is hit you, you're not surprised.
Bowie, Bugatti, Bentley, and Bikini.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. No tagline yet. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of small announcements. A lot of this should have already been in play by now. If not, it's coming up. So, you know me, I'm late. So, first things first. Thank you yet again to Snort Burnell for just all of Snort Burnell's greatness. And you're seeing there two hashtags under Snort Burnell. They're not actually associated with Snort Burnell, but I just wanted to put them there just so it's kind of visible. As you guys remember, I have a small list of achievements that we've been slowly building up over here at GTG Network Productions. If you guys have a suggestion, use either one of those hashtags, and that will go ahead and basically get you locked in and whatnot. We'll grab a screenshot of it and we'll slowly accumulate it into a list, whether it'll be one that scrolls up like you guys see with your shout out list, or if it's something that I'll just flash on screen. Sorry. So look out for that. Secondly, some of your comments might actually pop up in the video periodically. Actually, it'll just kind of be like in a slideshow type method. So, you know, congratulations to everybody who made it and whatnot. And you guys never know when that may happen. So look out for that. I am proud to announce that we have a new member on the GTG Network Productions team. G Money. I've been mentioning him for a very long time. A little bit of backstory because I think it's important. G Money is not somebody who's kind of just stepping into the ring, if you will. He is someone who's known Phil off and on. Well, he's familiar with Phil's content, I should say, off and on for like 10 years. And so he's kind of followed periodically some of the ups and downs of Phil. So he asked if he could use, you know, our channel, which is really a network now, if you think about it, use our network to put his DSP content, because he doesn't want that on his other channel, and I get that. And I was like, sure. So you'll see, I don't know what the actual name of the series is called yet, but I'm sure he'll want a dedicated playlist, which we will set up for him. And there you go. So first off, just welcome the new member G Money to the team. Thank you very much, G Money, yourself, for trusting us to come over here and whatnot, because it's not like we're the best choice, but we do what we can here. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of new blood, so that's always a good thing. So just please be welcoming to him and just kind of hear him out. He has a lot of experience with Dave, and he's a funny guy. I think you guys will like his accent too. So he has a lot of pluses that when he comes to the table. So look out for that, and hopefully you enjoy what he brings to the table. I've had some very long discussions with him since me and him first talked, and extremely insightful individual. Not just about YouTube, not just about Dave, but just in general. So I can't wait to when I actually start live streaming and get this podcast finally together, of getting him into some conversations. Actually, ironically enough, I just well, at the time I'm recording this, it was probably last weekend, I was talking to Agent Proper of the DIA. Shouts out to the DIA, and we recorded our first episode of the podcast over there. And I'm not sure when that's up yet, but when it does, you know me, I'm going to promote the hell out of it. And the next day I was able to talk to G Money. So I was able to talk to two very insightful individuals who brought a lot to the table. And so that's something that I hope moving forward you guys will get to see some of. As I've said before, I don't know how long the longer videos, or how long I'll be keeping up the the uploading streak that I'm currently on. As you guys know, I'm trying to build a whole nother channel where I can kind of get back into the lore, like into the deep lore, because there's so much stuff that I'm missing. And so I have a dedicated channel for that where I go back into, I'll give you guys just a little bit of insight, where I'm going to go back into the old stuff that Tevin did. The old stuff that Snort Burnell first did. And then even probably going to push back even further into some of the stuff that's archived. There's a bunch of great detractors out there who don't make videos anymore, but you might still find them on Twitter. And a lot of them have some gold mines worth of content out there. And there are diamonds out there, a bunch of them. And that's what I want to do. I'm going to go over there and kind of do something that's similar to what I do on this channel, kind of just refresh myself and just get an idea. And also cut my teeth over there live streaming too. So when I come here, it's at least concise somewhat. But I still have a lot of questions to ask a lot of people. So there you go on that. That's pretty much it. I expect a channel update video coming up soon because I want to do that. And there's a lot of projects that I'm supposed to be working with. Some voiceover stuff. Supposed to be doing a skit with Jackal's Lair and somebody else. That should be fun. There's a lot going on this year. So hopefully you guys find something that you like and whatnot. That's all I can really bring to the table. That's all I can provide. And just expect me to shout out a lot of people, because there's a lot of great content creators out there. And as you guys know, that's one of my things here is I want to see other people do well. And because it's important. You know what I'm saying? Especially for someone like myself who I don't think I'm going to be around very long. So I'd like to try to use what I have to promote others and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has their time and then they kind of diminish. And so at the end of the day, trying to promote others who definitely just need a little bit of help, or who just need just a few more eyes on them to really appreciate the talent they have, I think it's something that that needs to happen and whatnot. So those are just some of the things in 2019 that I want to do. Like I said, there'll be a channel update video, and we'll go into that further and so on and so forth. Welcome yet again, G Money, to the team. And yeah, I guess let's just go ahead and move forward as such. So let's go ahead and get into the broadcast at hand now that the PSAs are done. Let's see here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Snort Burnell, Dspgaming. Cat sleeps downstairs and professional camper. Now, Cat sleeping downstairs is, I'm going to assume, because she's sick. Now, the thing is, and this is just being realistic, if Cat is sick, why isn't it that Phil is sleeping downstairs and Cat has the bed? Now, the reason why I say that, ladies and gentlemen, is I want you guys who are married or who live with your girlfriend or whatever your situation might be, whoever you and your significant other is, if one of you are sick and for whatever reason you have to get up early, and so you don't want to, and they need to get as much rest as possible, or maybe they don't want to disturb you, so on and so forth. Everybody in a relationship thinks differently. But if you're the one who's capable, who can actually make a concise decision because you're not ill, wouldn't you rather give them the bedroom, give them the bed, make them as comfortable as possible, and sleep downstairs? If it needs to go there, I should say. If you guys sleep downstairs or sleep in a separate room or whatever the case may be. Wouldn't you feel a bit more comfortable doing that than basically not exiling and not evacuating, but what's the word? Quarantine your significant other into the living room? It just seems uncomfortable. And if you guys have a 2-story, for example, if you have a ranch style home, or if you guys live in an apartment, that's one thing. But if you guys live in a 2-story, don't you think it's a bit asshole-ish to have the individual who's sick sleeping downstairs on the couch instead of probably being more comfortable in the bed upstairs? Doesn't that Doesn't that seem a bit off to some of us? I would think. And then we get into why is it that they're both suddenly sick, which we'll talk about that in just a second. Just something I wanted to run by you. Professional camper. This is Phil feeling pretty special about his Call of Duty Black Ops wins. Or Blackout wins, I should say. And he camps to win. Wings should be proud, to be honest. But the way he plays... I mean, at the end of the day, play the game the way you want, but the way he plays is not entertaining. And that's what it comes down to. You are an entertainer. You are a streamer. People come to you to be entertained, not listen to your fucking problems about your finances and your taxes and all this silly shit. When you're finally getting in and playing the game... Play the game. And you won't even do that. He wants to camp for like 4 or 5 minutes just so he can try to make it into the top 10, just so he can hold on to the glorification of, oh, I was top 5. Oh, I was top 5. That was not too bad. You didn't learn anything, Phil, from 2005 when you sat there and held on to your little 4th place win at Evo and you're still preaching about that shit? This is just as pathetic. And you had a whole community that laughed at you and shunned you on that one. And now look, you're lucky the Call of Duty community doesn't look at you as anything more than a joke. Because if they did, they'd be like, wow. A man who's not really going for the win, who just wants to try to make it at least top 5. That's it? That's all the ambition that you have? Alright, fair enough. Last thing before we get into the broadcast at hand is, why is it that Phil and Kat are sick? Someone in the comment section, brought up an interesting point that, building off of something that I think I had said earlier about the mold, about the water leakages he's had in that house. They were like, well, then that would go ahead and breed mold. And in turn, that would certainly cause them to get sick, especially if the mold has gotten into the water. Okay? What they shower with, what they drink out of, so on and so forth. If that is the case, ladies and gentlemen, that does make an even better case for why they might be sick. And being that, when was the last time Phil had somebody go in and inspect the house? Has he even had anybody come in and fix some of those leakage problems that he had upstairs, for example? I know they ended up taking care of the one downstairs under the kitchen sink, because I remember SOK did a video on that. But who knows what other kind of damage is going on? And then, like I said, good point by the viewer on what about if they have a mold issue? What if they have one? And not to say that Phil would have built a tolerance to it, air quotes, but Kat certainly hasn't. So whatever cold that Kat picked up was essentially just the calluses to just the beginning, really, of what ended up coming about later on. So even after both of their colds broke, she ended up picking something else up. That house isn't exactly the cleanest on the block. You know what I'm saying? And then with all that snorting and everything that he's picking up, he's bound to get sick again. And then he's sitting here going around in circles talking about, oh, I have chronic health issues. That's nobody's problem, or that's nobody's business, I should say, until he's ready to profit from it, and so on and so forth. So there might be a real health issue in that house. We don't know. We probably won't know for a while. But I thought it was a good suggestion that someone brought up, and I thought it should be at least addressed, because I think it's important. But in any case, let's go ahead and hear what Dave has to say, and let's go ahead and get into the broadcast at hand, because that's why you guys are all here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG Network Productions. You guys all know the slogan. I smell some bacon sizzling. I smell it and I hear it. It's time to watch me work.
Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
Welcome to a full day of streaming. Yes, surprise, surprise, I know that. Originally, I had been scheduled to have today off from streaming, and I wasn't going to be here. But stuff happens, right? Currently, here's the deal. Today was supposed to be my day off for the week where I run errands and I spend some time, with my girlfriend Kat, and we do stuff together.
Oh yeah. That was actually a really good point too. That someone pointed out in the comment section. Oh my god, that was a great point. There's a theory floating around that Phil may not have a valid driver's license. And so, if we go back to when Kat, right before Kat showed up and then when she ended up getting there, you might understand why there was such a panic to go ahead and get her to the DMV, get everything squared away, and so on and so forth, before she could actually go to work and things, and this, that, and the third. Another thing, right, that's kind of interesting is, I don't know how Seattle works, but being that Phil has been in Seattle for what, 4 years, 4+ years, I would think his driver's license hasn't expired yet, but maybe it has. If it has, he would have had some opportunities to go out there and take care of it. But, and I'm going back to something that James Lester told me, and as most of you guys might know, Phil wears glasses. But when's the last time Phil had his prescription updated? And if you look at him play sometimes, you can see he's obviously having an issue with what's going on, what's going on the screen sometimes. So, especially in Street Fighter, where he'll say that, oh, that didn't hit me, you clearly got hit. You clearly didn't see it. So that right there is another thing in itself. And more importantly than that, let's say that his driver's license did expire. I don't know about his state, but in some states you can go ahead and get all of that updated online. You can go ahead and get it renewed online, I should say. If not, he could take the trip to the DMV. When's the last time he's done that? Not that he would tell us that he'd go to the DMV, but when's the last time he was like, hey guys, I have something really important to do, so on and so forth, and then went and did it? That might explain, though, too, why he needs Kat to basically chauffeur him around to do errands and shit like that. That's why they have to go together. But if that's the case, and you don't have a valid driver's license, Phil, not that you were a great driver beforehand, then just let her run the errands. Excuse me. So, what are you worried about? I don't know. Another thing, and before we go ahead and continue, is if your girlfriend, wife, whatever your significant other, whoever your significant other is, if they were sick and you really want them to get better, make sure they're comfortable and whatnot, and you were planning on taking the day off anyway, which Phil is known for doing, why didn't you just take the day off and spend time with her and kind of get her, make her feel comfortable and help getting her well, instead of you coming on stream? You already had plans to take the day off anyway, so you already had plans not to make any money. Well, at least off streaming. So why couldn't you just do that? This whole thing about, oh, I was going to stream, but I'm not going to do it now because, or I wasn't going to stream, but now I'm going to do it because Kat's sick. That's not necessarily a good reason, but if he was periodically getting up to check on her, I could see that. But I very likely doubt Phil did it. And I think he put her downstairs thinking that, oh, so this way she doesn't have to hear me, this, that, and the third. But in truth, if she needs something from you, you can't hear her from downstairs. That means you're going to force this girl to walk all the way upstairs to ask you for something if for whatever reason she can't get it herself, and you got your headset on. You're not going to be able to hear her anyway, whether she was upstairs or not. At least she'd have a shorter walk. I don't know. Let's continue. Dspnews.
It didn't work out so well. She is pretty sick. So I got her home, relaxing and everything, made her some tea, and basically got her to sleep, gave her some NyQuil, so hopefully she could sleep. And she apparently didn't sleep at all last night, or was basically in and out of consciousness, not really sleeping well. Really sucks. And, woke up this morning and she was like just so messed up. Let me put it this way. So I went downstairs for about 30 minutes. She was conscious probably for about 3 of them. And the rest of it, she was just so dead tired, she was passed out. Okay? Not good. Not good at all. So, yeah, there was no...
Not good at all, but yet you still left her in that condition. Not good at all, but you still left her in that condition. You went down there for 30 minutes to check on her. She was only coherent, let's say, for 3 minutes of that. And you still thought it was still a good idea to stream? What happens if that girl rolls off that couch and hits the chair? Or hits one of your gin bottles that are laying around or some shit like that? What happens then? I'm being dead ass serious. What happens if... Excuse me. I'm being dead ass serious. What happens if something happened to her down there? Alright, let's continue.
We were going to go out today, when she got no rest and is really dying sick here. So it sucks, but it is what it is, right? So that means a shift in schedule. She's basically trying to sleep right now and get some rest. The good news is she has today and tomorrow off. So that's 2 days for her to rest up and feel better, right?
Girls liked me because I was a nice guy, and I would be very friendly to girls. I was respectful of women. I wasn't a sexist pig, or I wasn't, drooling all over them.
But you certainly are a greedy pig, though. Oh, yeah, she's not coherent. She's in really bad shape and whatnot, for the 30 minutes I was down there. But I got to go back upstairs to stream. So, suck it up, Buttercup. But then you're going to sit there and say, well, she does have the next 2 days off, so thank God for that. At least you don't have to miss any more days. Okay, we can't afford you to do that, cat. You need the bills are going to pop up no matter what. The bills wait on no one. So try to rest up these next 2 days, and if you still got a bad cough, suck it up, Buttercup. Just go ahead and hit back to work, because, we got bills to pay. Really, Phil? Really? Alright, let's continue. Jesus.
But because I was the nice guy, I finished last. A lot of the times in school, the girls would want to be friends with me, but they wouldn't ever want to, advance it past that level. Listen, that's my fetish. I don't know what their problem is. I pay for it. I'll lick the girls.
I don't know. Maybe they saw some... Oh, man. I don't know, Phil. They must have saw something in you that... They probably saw something in him that was... Yeah, no, you don't want to get into some long-term commitment with him. He kind of comes across as someone who would be like, if you broke up with him, he's not going to take it well. He obviously has some of those tendencies. So, that might not... They may have dodged some bullets with that. Except for that poor girl that you were obsessed with and you probably stalked. It was probably a little bit more difficult with her, but other than that.
Now the thing is, I need to, no matter what, tomorrow I'm going to have to go grocery shopping. There's no way around it. Like, we are out of food.
Oh my God.
To the point where, like...
Now, that right there goes back to the point being made if there's something wrong with his license, or if he hasn't renewed it, which makes no sense why he wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Just go down there, you know what I'm saying? Take what? I think they have you check your eye exam if they require that in his state and whatnot. Pay the renewal and then be out. Easy peasy. And he could do it early. He can get up, I don't know when his DMV opens up, but he could do that early before he even needs to stream. He could do that and be back in no time. Literally. But anyway. This does yet again go back to this whole thing of could go back to his license, because this is like the second or third time he's talked about we have nothing in the house at all. This, that, and the third. Like, literally, the house is completely empty. Why would you let the house get that way? You never did that with Panda. Before she got her license and after. Why are you doing that now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that's so discouraging that you don't want to leave your house to do things that you need to do? And then more importantly than that, and I've said this in a previous broadcast, why don't you just ask Kat to hit the store on the way home? Or because I think the new thing is sometimes she doesn't get out of work until like after midnight. Fair enough. Ask her to go before. I doubt she's sleeping all the way till the time she has to go to work. I don't know. It sounds really, really iffy. Really, really iffy. Alright, let's continue. Dspnews.
One possible meal I could make today, and if not, I'm just gonna have to, like, I'm thinking I'm just gonna order like a quick pizza or something, just to get something here so we have something to eat, because we were supposed to go out today, and I'm not gonna have time to do cooking because I've got 2 streams and all that, so I can't do any significant cooking or anything like that.
Okay, so then go out and get a DSP tries it real quick. Why is it that you're so scared to leave the house? Why is it that you're so scared to leave the house? Now, don't get me wrong. Phil's never had a problem with ordering in. We all know this. But, okay, she's sick. There's nothing in the house at all, which sounds strange in its own right. So, you said that Subway and all this stuff is like 15 minutes away. So, go out, take a quick drive, and get something to eat. You don't even have to worry about ordering out. Why are you so scared to do so? I could be nitpicking. Alright, here we go.
So Emerald 6, the troll who impersonates Emerald 7, just gifted a sub to the channel to Mark McCauley. So congratulations, Mark McCauley. And Emerald 6 continuing to gift subs to people, even though a lot of those people are troll accounts and the like. Go figure. But I guess support is support, right?
Hey, money is money. One thing I think about, money is money, yeah. Well, Emerald 6 gifted a sub to Ninja. Wow. Thanks for that very, very effective sub there, Emerald6.
Tomorrow, I will not do a second stream because then I'm going to have to run out and do all the errands myself. All the stuff that I need to get done for the week, I'll have to go out and do myself, including grocery shopping and the like, which is fine, you know. Not like I haven't done that ever in my life before.
What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Huh?
It would just suck 'cause it's supposed to be my day off with Kat, and she's been so sick, it just really stinks that I might miss out on that opportunity, you know, this week.
Tonight, guys, as you know, if you cheer, sub, or tip, I'm going to give you a shout out. In fact, that's a big part of the Blackout streams is interacting with all of you. So I hope that you will interact with me tonight to make this a much better stream than if I'm just running around doing nothing, talking to myself, mumbling to myself. As I play this, it's not going to be very entertaining. All right, I'm just saying. No one pays attention to the game. No one pays attention to Phil.
There's only 5 days until I get paid by Twitch, which is good. When I get paid by Twitch, then I should be alright. The problem is I have 5 days to go. And I am very short on funds because of what happened in December where I was sick for a whole week and other various factors. Don't want to get into crazy amounts of them, alright? But please consider tipping me if you can tonight. Tipping me, those funds will go straight to my bank account and will allow me to pay the bills, alright? As you can see, we have a tips goal. We're at $33 out of 200. Actually, we're not, because I'm going to tell you, during the break, someone did an anonymous $40 tip. Excuse me, an anonymous $10 tip, which bumped us up to $43. So thank you to whoever it was that did that anonymous $10 tip. That's much appreciated. And we did get bumped up by another 10. So, good. Thank you very much, everyone, so far today.
So that tonight we can get some more going. You know, the more the better. It just helps me out to get through this tough time. And I appreciate everyone who has stepped up and has been helping me out. I really do. Okay? Holy fucking shit. Relax.
Relax indeed. So you're 5 days out, right? You're 5 days out from getting paid. You still want people to contribute, yet you're willing to order pizza, which yet again, if there's no food in the house for whatever reason, that's fine. Do what he's got to do. But in truth, he could literally just get into the car, take a 15-minute drive, and pick up something probably a bit more suitable than giving your girlfriend, your sick girlfriend, I should say, greasy pizza. You know, maybe getting her like an actual sandwich or something with a bit more substance. You know what I'm saying? Going to a nice deli or something and getting her a soup and a sandwich or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that would be more suitable. Or, here we go, going over to Fred Meyer's, which is right across the street, Phil, picking up some lunch meat, picking up some bread of any type, picking up a couple of cans of soup and actually making her something. How about that? And that's even closer. So what is your excuse? If you have money for takeout, you have money for all the things that I just named. So what's the problem? So yet again, it comes down to this kind of, it's either pure laziness or something has happened with him. And as you guys know, he has a history of being just a shitty driver. So it kind of falls into that category. It is what it is. And then that earlier spiel that he had about, oh, it's not like I've never gone to the grocery store by myself before. It's not like I can't do it. It sounds like someone who's trying to cover for something. What is it? You know what I mean? What is it that has you so scared that you won't even drive your own car? Do you not have any insurance on the car, Phil? Did your insurance lapse? Sorry. What's the problem? Does Kat have a bad driving history and that caused your insurance rates to rise up a little bit? What's going on to where now Phil Burnell can't do the simplest things? I don't know. Dspnews.
People just can't control themselves. The hilarious part about morons who say stuff in the stream chat like, or you can get a job, which is what that guy just said and just got permanently banned. He got fucked up.
DSP, get a job.
Yeah, there you go.
Buddy.
I'm just going to ban. This job pays more than any job I've ever had in my entire life, including when I had a full-time office job for 5 years. I still make more doing this job than that. That's just complete ignorant children who say stupid shit like that. They don't seem to understand. Oh, why am I toxic?
Okay, let's cut into this for a minute. So, okay. I was talking to G Money about this recently. So, last year, well, sorry, we're in 2019 now. So 2017, right? We think he made almost $100,000, maybe even a little bit over $100,000. Yeah. Okay. Back in Phil's heyday, right? This is the conversation I had with G Money. Back in Phil's heyday, So we're talking about from between 2011 and 2013, right? Phil was making, and everything was view based around that time too, by the way. So that's something that you need to take into account. He had, I guess he was averaging about 13.5 million views a month. At the highest, though, it's possible that it was about 15 million subs. Okay. About 15 million views. So let's say between 13.5 to 15 million views back in his heyday when Phil was white hot popular, yeah? Okay, so me and G Money were talking about it, and we were like, okay, so what would that be exactly? And what we came about, now keep in mind, this is old numbers because the situation is really old. So we'll say for 10 million views, it's probably about $10,000, give or take. Okay, but now, yet again, we have to skew that a little bit because it was view-based. Now, keep in mind, this is all just assumptions, okay? So keep that in mind. But I'm just throwing some numbers at you between the two of us because, you know, I wasn't doing YouTube at that time. And, you know, G-Money's just kind of going off of what he's doing now. So, you know what I'm saying? We're just trying to find the best way we can. So please don't take this as the gospel. But, if you're thinking about what the view base situation was back then, which was the gravy train for everybody was getting crazy money. And if you guys remember back to Phil's days with Machinima, where he said that they paid him crazy money, and there was either 1 month or a couple months where they paid him way more than they were supposed to. So they skewed the following 2 months to kind of balance it out. And he said he didn't care because the money was so big. Those checks were so crazy, he didn't care if they kind of cut him short in the next 2 months. Shit, he was going to be straight. Ladies and gentlemen, this man told us that he's never made $10,000 a month before, right? He's never done it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to tell you something right now that, and like I said, this is just an assumption, but back in Phil's heyday, it is possible that Phil was making anywhere between $16,000 to $23,000 a month. And he did that for a couple of years. I want you to think about what... Now, keep in mind, $23,000 is at its highest point because he admitted that Machinima was overpaying him for a long-ass time. Hence the reason why they kept having... And I want you to think about this. Hence the reason why they had to keep renegotiating his contracts over and over and over again. They were overpaying him from the hop. Think about what his lifestyle was. He very rarely was cooking. He's driving around in a car that he certainly doesn't need. He's sitting there buying shit to kind of fill his spaces instead of saving it. He was making ridiculous money. Now, like I said, between, you know, $16,000 and $26,000 a month is ridiculous. And that's what this idiot made. With that type of money, would you give up what Phil does? Even though Phil probably doesn't make anything near that anymore. Nowhere near that. He's definitely on the lower end of the spectrum now. But you're talking, ladies and gentlemen, at... Let's see here. Okay, at $23,000 a month, he was pulling $276,000 a year. That's at his highest point, right? That's at the highest point. So what did I say? So we'll just say 13,000. So then you do... If you skew the numbers just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Just because I want to be somewhat fair to what this idiot was pulling. If you go ahead and do $16,000 a month, he's still walking away with $192,000 before taxes, of course. So the guy is still making crazy, and these are just all assumption numbers, by the way. That's crazy money this guy was making. Do you really think he wants to go back into the workforce? He has no reason to. Even after they kept giving him the pay cuts, he was still making over $100,000 a year. And that's just with Machinima. You know what I'm saying? When you start putting this whole thing with YouTube and Twitch, oh how the mighty have fallen. But he's still making really good money. He's still making more than most. Hence the reason why, at least to him, getting a job is fucking retarded. It's the dumbest thing in the world because why should he? And then, if you go ahead and So if you take Machinima, if you take YouTube and you take Twitch, and then you take the begging on top of that, he's still going to pull at least almost 100,000 a year. Why would he give that up? He doesn't have no pride about this. He doesn't have no sense of self-respect or whatnot. It's still almost 6 figures. It's still more than anything that he's qualified to do. Why would he give it up? So, but that right there, and like I said, those were just some off numbers, so take that as you will. But that right there gives you an idea of what kind of money Phil was making back in his heyday. That's the type of money he was making. And when he sat there and blew up at Machinima, when he got dropped, as you know, we're going to turn that into a gout and wine or a wine and doubt. When that ended up happening, yeah, and he lost all of that protection on all those old playthroughs, and he lost this, that, and the third. This idiot now realizes that his managed partnership was more than he could ever expect. If I still, to be honest, I think if he still had that managed partnership, and still did streaming, he would make over 100,000 a year. If not a little bit more. Well, certainly over 100,000. I mean, somewhere between 120, 150. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. You know what I'm saying? Because all of his playthroughs wouldn't be touched, give or take. And like I said, these are just really broad numbers, so just, take that into account. But that's ridiculous money this guy was making. And Wings is another one. Wings made ridiculous money back in his day. Recently he said, at one time I was making $7,000 a month. And in truth, it was probably a little more than that. He was probably making somewhere between 10 and 12. Maybe. But if Wings is doing that, and he's only putting out between 2 and 5 videos a day, because when he started getting really desperate, he started putting out like 5 videos a day. So if Wings was doing that off 2-3 videos a day, and then eventually at his height he had to do 5, and Phil was putting out 30 videos a day, think about the amount of money that was coming in from all those 10-minute videos with the ads in the beginning, or just off initial clicks. And you can't tell me that Phil didn't have people in his fan base that were click abusing. You can't tell me that there weren't people, at least a few people doing it. And when Phil lost his account the first time, he got smarter about it. When the whole click the ads thing to help me make more money. He eventually got smart about it when he came back. He had to. But this is the type of money this man was bringing in. And look at him now. Like I said, go ahead and just take some of my numbers, do some calculations of your own. But that's what this guy was doing back in his heyday. And you're telling me he couldn't save any of that. He burned through it as quick as he could. And for what? Dspnews.
Why am I toxic? Phil has gout.
By the way, before I forget, lest I what? Did you see that? I clicked on party and it didn't work.
Did you hear that goat laugh? That Jesus Christ, Phil.
There we go. Okay, lest I forget and we get fucking assholes. We'll have none of those assholes. The last guy embarrassed himself so badly, there's no way I'm gonna allow someone to embarrass him that much. Like that last guy said, don't give Phil money because he buys fast food. And that was it. Like I seriously can't even I can't even go any further than that. That's like the worst ever, so ugh.
What we want? Good
Dark
shit.
Side Phil's a stupid, cowardly, ugly, jobless, narcissistic, egotistical man-child who begs for people's money just by sitting on his fat
There we
ass,
go.
sucking a video games 24/7 and will never adapt to a professional level
Listen
in
to this
gaming.
guy.
Do not donate to this loser. He only using your money just to buy fast food, making his fans
Oh, I
and
buy
viewers pay
fast
for his
food.
own bills and keeps Moses unearned.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a man who does... This man right here, this pig, I should say, watches Detractor videos. He remembers what Detractors say and do. Jesus Christ. He sat there and allegedly said, oh, Tevin was doing this years ago and this, that. And he remembered that shit. But yet he couldn't remember what someone did when he embarrassed him on his own stream. He took what part that was convenient for him, you saw his reaction to it, and ran with that. And cut everything else out. Everything else that could hurt him, that he couldn't give it a comedic spin, that all got discarded. But he kept what he could, and that was it. And this goes back to something I've said before, where, and others have also, where even when he tells the truth, he's lying. He don't know how to tell. He really don't know how to tell you the full-blown truth. All he knows is how to lie. All he does is try to protect this pathetic notion of what he wants people to see him as, even though he's not even willing to work towards it. He's not willing to live up to it, but he'll lie to make himself feel better. He'll lie thinking that, oh, well, this will make me look good. And that's a problem with a lot of YouTubers as of late. Motherfuckers just lying for no fucking reason. Like, dude, okay, for example, if any of you guys are keeping up with it, the whole situation with Andy Worski and Tonka Saul. Dude, either you're going to fight or you're not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, either Tonka's going to fight or he's not. Period. Don't, all this extra excuses and everything, it makes you look really, really bad. You know what I'm saying? Either you're going to fight Andy, being that Andy's the only person who's like, oh, he wants to fight me, I'm going to fight, which I'm sure Tonka didn't expect that. Either you're going to fight this guy or you're not. And if you're not going to fight him, then say, hey, I'm not going to fight you, and then move along. And yeah, you're going to take shit for it. You're going to take shit if you lose, but at least you showed up. But don't sit there and give all these excuses, this, that, and the third, when you're only a couple of days out from the fight. Don't do that. Well, at least at the time I'm recording. Don't look. I mean, granted, and to be honest with you, it doesn't look like it's going to happen anyway. It really don't. It really don't look like it's going to happen, and that's a shame. That's a shame that you sat there and called all these dudes out. Now the one dude that no one expected to accepted and really took that shit seriously and trained, and no one ain't heard nothing from you. And now you're just coming out with excuses only a couple days till the fight. There's money on the line. People are flying out. There is money involved in this, ladies and gentlemen. Real money involved in this shit. People have taken time off work. People are doing all this shit. People are coming out of state. Some people are flying out of the country to come and watch two YouTubers spurg out what a bunch of professional fighters on the card, or at least amateur professional fighters. You know what I mean? If it doesn't go down, there is no coming back from that. Yes, it's the internet. People will forget, but people aren't going to forget this. And then you got to live with that too. And no matter what argument you get into, people always bring that up. Now, Phil, obviously, his situation isn't as egregious. But then it kind of is. Because people have given this guy money to come through on obligations or to come through on promises that he made, and he didn't come through. He didn't do well by the very people who paid him to do it. This right, and like I said, man, people are going to end up, you know, at least internet-wise, are going to end up living and dying by that bullshit. You're going to make or break your fucking internet career, if you want to call it that, or at least reputation, because you do have a reputation on the internet. You're going to end up losing that shit over this dumb shit? What was it worth? I don't know. Dspnews.
Okay.
And that's another thing. Phil's lying about something so small. Most of those people don't even remember that situation. Most of the people in his fan base aren't even going to remember it, or will selectively forget it. And yet he still feels the need to lie about it. For what?
Back to the game. I use my money to buy fast food. That's interesting. As you know, fast food is very expensive these days.
Paratus, my financial situations have nothing to do with me streaming. He's saying, oh, I was thinking about streaming, but I've heard now you're having, your hard financial situations. Does that have something to do with it? No. My financial situations have to do with people trolling the fuck out of me and ruining my life for things that I didn't do, or things that they like to corruptly think that I did to justify their really fucked up actions against me. The bottom line is I never personally hurt anyone with anything I ever did online, but these people like to pretend like I'm the devil and then fuck with me. That's why I'm in the position I'm in. I overspent money based on...
Wait. Okay, you definitely overspent. You definitely overspent. And like I said, we already talked about that part. Now, you have screwed people over, you've insulted people, everything that Snort Burnell is putting out there now. It had an effect on a bunch of people. And you threatened people. You've actually... Now, granted, you weren't man enough to physically actually do it. So that is what that is. But you have done enough to give people a reason to call you out. For sure. Now, all the extra stuff and whatnot, that's between you and them. I mean, Phil, you ain't fucked over a lot of people in your time. You ain't pissed off a lot of people. But even then, you can't say that it's any worse than what happened with that situation with Wings. Like, people were really, like, Phil should consider himself lucky. And I might go over it one day. But the shit that Wings was going through, not all of it, not every detractor was involved, but some of the shit that they were doing to Wings was, whoa. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Wings is completely innocent, because Wings has done a lot of fucked up shit in his time, too. Actually, in a lot of ways, a lot of what Wings did mirrors kind of what DSP did. So you could see why they had these dedicated group of people that came after them. But neither one of you guys are completely innocent. And a lot of the things that screw you over, Phil, you specifically, is your own words. Your own words did it. And your greed on top of that. Your greed fucked you hard. And the reason why that did is because you monetized every little piece of everything and you put it out there. All the insults, all the racism, all this, that, and the third. Your new gimmick this year is, oh, that happened, all these years ago. They need to let that go. Then take down the video. Oh, you're not going to do that. Which is funny because you're doing these retrospective events, yeah? And you're hiding certain videos. You're going ahead and making certain videos disappear. I know that. Because there are certain videos that I've been looking for that I was smart at the time to download. But now, when I go back to some of those playlists where those videos should be, I can't find them. Now, it's very possible it's just jumbled up somewhere, and that's very possible. That's very plausible. But, like any good pup, I don't mind digging. And I'm not really... And there's a couple of videos that I can't find. And I'm talking about as recent as in the last... let's say within the last, 15 days. So slowly but surely, certain stuff that you're looking for is coming up missing. And it's ironic that it's happening right around the time this retrospective event is supposed to be coming together. I don't know. Not sure, Scrappy. So, with that being said, at the end of the day, you fucked yourself over in the worst possible way. Because if a bunch of detractors were like, oh, he said this, that, and the third, and someone was like, give me proof, if they couldn't come up with the proof, then that kind of ends the situation. When you have good Samaritans that can sit there, good Samaritans, that can not only make a claim, but then send a link to that claim, that's your fault. That was your fault. And you know it. But yet you want to blame us because what, they pointed it out? Did you ever consider saying sorry for it? It's not only that you won't say sorry for it, but you'll also lie about it and say it didn't happen until someone comes up with that link. Or someone comes up with that clip. Sorry. With that click. With that clip. Then what? You're fucked. You are royally fucked. You hold on to this for the same way Wings does. Because you can't do nothing else. There's too much shit on both of you that you can't run from it. And at the end of the day, your past, whether in IRL or on the internet, is still your past. And you can't run from it. And that's what both of you did. And then, at the same time, you're two people who brought your in real life into your internet. Or into this internet kind of life thing. Sorry. You brought your in real life into the internet. And you combined them both together instead of keeping them separate. So you have nowhere to run either which way. And you guys did this for years. And it didn't matter all those years ago because you were making money. You were making good money. You were making great money. Fuck it. You were making great money. Now, money's slow. Fan base ain't there no more. And the only people who are left are these haters and trolls and detractors and so on and so forth. And neither one of you really have a leg to stand on. But it's obvious neither one of you guys are going hungry. So obviously you guys aren't as broke as you both say you are. This was bound to happen. This was always destined for people like you. It is what it is. And some people can dodge the bullet for a little while. Some people can lie their way out of situations like Monday Matt. Everybody has their fall. Especially when you ain't fucked around and done some stupid shit. Everybody's going to take their hit eventually. Rich will take his hit too, sooner than later. He may not fall as hard as you guys, but time will tell. But you guys fall into this group of people who treated other people like shit because you guys thought you were in these crazy positions. You guys thought you were in position. And now it all came back on you. in the hardest way possible. And now you don't want to play the game no more. Now you guys want to be left alone in your twilight years on the internet. Nah, that's not how that's going to work. Sadly, for people like you guys, and as it pertains to the people who keep coming after you, it's going to be one of those situations that it's literally, they're going to put the boot to your guys' neck and keep the pressure on it all night and keep applying. It is what it is. And as long as you're going to stay here, you're going to have to just put up with it. Dspnews.
Assuming I would always have income that I had when all that income got taken away from me because of sick fucking people. Alright, so that's really what happened. And what I'm trying to do now is get to a position where I can refinance my house so I can get rid of all this debt that I've accumulated over the years. Then I'll be okay. I actually make really good money streaming, don't get me wrong. The problem is something always fucks me over. Every time I'm in a good position, it looks like, alright, I'm good, I'm gonna get through this.
But see, that's counterintuitive to what... That's counterintuitive. Like, there's something conflicting there. If you're making really good money, then you shouldn't have to ask people to give you money. Unless those people who you beg to, who you ask to give you money, is wrapped up in your streaming money. Which, for some of you guys out there, that's what it really comes down to. What he makes... The money he makes on Twitch includes his begging. You have to understand that. His fan base on Twitch is part of his portfolio as it pertains to Twitch. If an accountant was to look at Phil's Twitch portfolio and look at the money he made from, well, what little money he made from sponsorship before he screwed that up, from sponsorships, ads, and then the donations and all the generosity and whatnot, all of that's lumped in. So he has no choice but to beg. He really doesn't. If anything else, begging is his full-time job. And that's a scary thought. That's a scary thought to have a fan base that's not even a fan base anymore. It's just a cult of personalities that you have to depend on day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, and now year in, year out, just to get by. Because you have nothing else. You have no other avenues because you did this damn thing for too long and you were too scared to do anything else. Or because you were too greedy to do anything else.
Something happens to fuck me over every fucking time.
As I've said many times, people will get what's coming to them. It's called karma.
It never fails. Things are going good. At the end of the year, I get sick and I can't stream for a fucking week. Oh man. Pedara says, do you have any advice for squishing troll attempts? Quite frankly, I wish I could tell you, like, a lot of people say, well, just ignore it, right? Yeah, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Ignoring it works if, basically, you're like, whatever, laugh it off. But when people are literally saying ridiculous, slanderous shit about you constantly, and they purposely take certain moments out of your entire 10 fucking years of making content to make you look like a certain kind of person that you're not, then you gotta speak up. The problem is then people say, oh, you address the trolls and negativity too much. So you can never really win, We know what's going to win. The troll answer wins. The troll answer always wins. Oh, yeah.
That's not necessarily true either. Well, it is and it isn't. At the end of the day, Phil fighting anything doesn't help him, to be honest. Like, even when, let's go back to the Escort Saga, even when he tried to fight that, people just laughed at him. It wasn't until somebody else with a whole lot of authority, and that's what it was, Phil, authority, who came in and basically squashed all that. Still, it was a fun ride either which way. But Phil's word itself carries nothing, and he knows it. But he's still compelled to fight back. And the more he fights back, similar to Wings, the more that's exposed about him. The more that his lies come to light. And he's not smart enough to just stop. He's not smart enough to just leave it alone. When people say slanderous stuff about you and then they have the video evidence to prove it, that's one thing. You can't fight that. When other people say this, address it once and keep it moving. Because you can't sit there and say, oh, that's not true, oh, it doesn't bother me, and whatnot. I'm just trying to address it to help you guys out. And then, next thing you know, he spends the next however long after that dwelling on it, not only in the pre-streams, but in his chill streams and during gameplay. It's obvious that it affects him, or it's obvious that it hurts him. But in truth, Phil, there's only a couple things that can really hurt you at this point, that could bring you any lower than you're at currently. One of them is going to be that situation when your parents pass. Because you sitting there and saying you're ready to close the book on, you're ready to close the chapter on that part of your life, meaning when your parents pass, is egregious. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. And I was talking to G Money about that shit, where he brought up a very interesting point, and I really need to get in a podcast and talk to him, because you guys need to hear what he has to say. That he says that he wouldn't be surprised if you don't show up to your parents' funeral. And I admit this. I said, you're kidding, right? And he's like, no, I really don't think he'll show. And and G Money G Money can admit this. For the briefest of moments, Phil, I had enough faith in your humanity to think that you would at least show up to your parents' funeral. Because obviously his parents aren't going to die at the same time. But I said that. I said that he'll at least do that. And he's like, I don't think he will. Because why would Phil put himself in a situation that can hurt him? And G Money's right. Why would Phil do that? What's the benefit for him to fly from Seattle to Connecticut to bury a parent and then have to put another one into a home and then have to figure out this, that, and the third, yada, yada? He don't want to worry about none of that. He'll make his relatives deal with that shit. And he'll just sit back and wait. And if you think Phil Burnell would not do that, then, go ahead and make your argument down in the comment section. I definitely want to hear it. And I know that seems harsh to believe. Because even I didn't believe it for a minute. But the logic behind it and how this man treats people kind of tells the story, sadly. But I want to hear your guys, opinion on it, though. Dspnews.
So it takes a long time to accumulate a bunch of real big shitheads. I knew this was going to happen. I knew what was happening was going to happen. Because I heard that motion sensor, so I knew the asshole was camping in there. I didn't even care. See, I agree with you, Slime Bear, but here's the thing. Here's what he said. He says, the trolls love it anytime you talk about it, even in a general sense. If you never mention it, their channels would be more and more anemic. That is true, but again, only to a certain extent. Because they will then try to find other shit that has nothing to do with me. Talking shit about my family or my girlfriend. Has nothing to do with me. I never brought that up. Has nothing to do with my streams. I don't bring that stuff up on my streams.
Fuck you. You're a liar. That was good. And immediately you get a dickhead like ITG Jake. I'm going to read it because I've had enough and he's permanently banned now. Do you want us to give you money to see your parents? Fuck you, Jake. How about that? Fuck you. No. Because you don't wait 5 seconds.
Fuck you for asking a question, by the way. That's what that's what that whole fuck you's for asking a question. Just keep that in mind.
To let me finish what I'm saying. Now, not only are you permanently banned, but now we all get to laugh at you publicly for being an insensitive piece of fucking shit when I'm bearing my heart to the fucking stream. Go fuck yourself. No, I'm not asking anyone for money to go to Connecticut to see my parents. In fact, it's the actual complete polar opposite situation, okay? It's basically this.
Now, you want to hear another line? You want to hear a couple other individuals who were victims of the same shit? War Dog Leader and what was that guy's name? Waifu Destroyer Matt. Same shit. 2 other guys who had suggestions or who asked a question and got shitted on for it, and as Phil said there, wanted the fan base or the people who were there to laugh at them and lambaste them for coming off and saying that. Because, well, I don't know if Waifu Destroyer Matt wasn't banned. He got publicly shamed, which is probably worse. And Waifu Destroyer Matt did get banned. Sorry, other way around. Waifu Destroyer Matt was the one who who was publicly shamed. War Dog Leader was the one who ended up getting banned. And had shit talked to him as he got banned. Over just ridiculous shit. And this is what this man does. So if anybody saw the Waifu Destroyer Matt, it's kind of egregious and it's definitely funny. But then again, Phil ran on him for like 10 minutes. But if you saw the War Dog Leader footage, that's enough for anybody to look at him and being like, he's a piece of shit. That right there is enough for anybody to look at, or after looking at that, and look at that and be like, you know what, Phil Burnell's a real piece of shit for that. And Phil knows it. That's why Phil tried to lie and say that didn't happen. And then try to double down and then triple down. But every time he did it, he still had to attack War Dog Leader because he didn't like the fact that War Dog Leader was winning. Even though it wasn't a matter of winning. War Dog Leader had a suggestion. He said 2 things to you and got banned. You, Phil, harped on that shit for a week and still can't live it down. Oh, I have chat logs. That's not what it said in chat logs. We have the chat logs too. And we already isolated that particular segment. Phil tried to lie on his fan base. Oh, they were telling War Dog Leader, why are you bringing that up, man? Why are you trying to derail? This, that, and third. No one said that. People were like, damn, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, man, I'm sorry for your loss. Hey, RIP. There might have been 1 or 2 assholes who were like, why would you do that, man? Why are you taking attention away from Phil? But everybody else gave their condolences. So now, he's willing to not only shame someone who lost their brother, but he'll lie on his own fan base because of it. And then, to make it even more egregious, he'll lie and say, oh, I don't know if you're even telling the truth or not. Who's going to lie about their brother dying? Who needs to take it there to make a point? Oh, but in Phil Burnell's world, though, that's what people do. You want to know why? Because Phil Burnell's a liar, too. And he'll lie, he'll cheat, he'll steal, he'll do whatever he has to get over. So if Phil would accuse another man of using his brother's death to gain some sympathy, you don't think after Phil Burnell loses his mother and father that he's not going to milk that shit for everything it's worth? DSP News.
A necessity, a make or break. If I don't go to visit my parents sometime in 2019, I may never see them again. You see what I mean? You know, it would really suck if we come out there, we visit you guys, and we come back home and immediately the next thing I have to do is like sell the house. But if that has to be, I guess it has to be. You know what I mean? So just for pure transparency here, I and Kat will be paying none of this trip if and when it happens. We're hoping it will happen. I already talked to my parents. They said, we're going to take care of it. We understand your financial situation. We couldn't ask for you to pay for any of this stuff.
But they'll do it anyway. Or the whole thing last year with the escort. I ignored it for a month and then finally had to address it because people were coming to me telling me I'm a horrible person for paying for an escort with patron money and shit. I'm like, what are you talking?
You didn't address that after a month. After a month is when Medicare came in and took, or Jim came in and took care of that. You had addressed it almost a week in. And you said that they were idiots and anybody who believes it's stupid and so on and so forth. You said what you said. You didn't let that shit sit around for a month. What the fuck you lying to, bruh? Who you lying to? Oh. Let's continue.
Talking about this isn't fucking true. Why do I have to waste my time to defend myself? But I have to, because if I don't, these people now become so virally crazy about this shit. They eat it, they feast on it.
And that's another thing too, actually. Good point on Snort Burnell's part. The escort and Cat bleed into each other. That storyline, that story arc, that bleeds into each other. And that's a bit of a problem, if you think about it. So, yet again, no escort, but this whole crazy situation behind that actually happened, which made the story seem legitimate. And then we have this girl here who has all these issues and problems that came out of goddamn nowhere. I don't know, Phil. I don't know. You might have been easier just walking away with the escort saga compared to what you're going through now. DSP News.
Like a toxic pile of fucking feces, and they get fat on it. They go, oh, and it's just gross because it becomes fact for them. Even if they don't care if it's true or not, it still becomes fact for them, and then I get negatively affected by that shit if I ignore it. That's what I mean. Like, I would love to completely 100% ignore all of it. I would. But I can't. I have to bring it up because of the nasty shit people say about me all the time that some people fucking believe for some reason. Cannoli to me $4. He said, the people trolling you today are the same people who used to troll Chris Chan. It'll never end. They'll just find someone new to troll if someone goes away. And I'm not going away. I have zero plans to ever go away. I will continue to do this as long as I can because I love it. I love having this as a job. I love sharing with you guys on a daily basis. I just love this. I love it.
And ladies and gentlemen, he'll get worse with time. And because he'll get worse with time, it's important that for those who end up coming behind us, end up having a solid foundation. Because, like Phil said, he's never going to leave. He's never going to do yada, yada, yada. Monday Matt's going to probably eventually leave. Wings can't go nowhere. Wings really can go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? LTG probably ain't leaving nowhere. So there's always going to be somebody to laugh at. But Phil will always outshine all those individuals. Those people will do dumbass shit like Wings, sitting there doxing somebody like a fucking moron, and I mean, I don't know. I think the first day he got doxed, he was crying victim. Good for you, Wings. But DSP will always outshine that, and he'll do it daily.
Having this as my occupation, and I will not give it up until I absolutely have to. So, plus, like I told you, I make more money doing this than anything else. I'd be a complete fucking buffoon to just quit this and go try to get a job to make as much money as I do now. It would never happen.
In one way or another, I'll probably be working till I'm dead. And I've kind of accepted that reality. I'm not like a normal person who's working a career, who's building up retirement fund money, and one day I could sit back in a lawn chair sipping a Mai Tai and live out my golden years in peace. It's never going to happen. You know, my life, sadly, has taken a turn where I don't even know if I'd be able to get a job in what's considered the private sector. And so, more than likely, I'm just going to have to keep doing what I'm doing for as long as I can do it and make ends meet and go from there, you know? And, you know, yeah, if I'm 50, 60 years old and I still have to play video games for a living, maybe the formula will change. It is what it is. That's my reality, you know? Anything for this, right?
I would be worse off, you know, trying to do something else, quite frankly, than if I just kept doing this. Even with all the negative shit that comes with it and everything, I'm still better off doing this.
See, Xbox One is garbage said, I can't wait till I'm watching 57-year-old Phil playing Call of Duty in the future. Good times. You never know. I guess we'll see.
And see, that's the sad part. Now, if any of you guys have felt that I've been a little bit too harsh up to this point, fair enough. Here's where the reprieve comes in. Pay attention, because it's going to go by fast. Ladies and gentlemen, this man right here is really resided to playing games for the rest of his life. Even though his life is the game. And all of us have controllers. Or, as in a reference I used about the Rubik's Cube. And someone made a very good point, too. A Rubik's Cube only has like 6 sides. And I think I had mentioned 7. Well, everybody's got to reset. But that was a good point, though. But that's what Phil is. That's what Wings is. They're merely... It's almost hard. I mean, obviously, no one... For people who aren't really going at their necks, it's one thing. You know what I'm saying? If you're making reaction videos and shit, talking about the dumb shit they do, that's one thing. But if you're really trying to insert yourself into their life and fuck their shit up, that's a whole nother thing. But you guys have made yourself play things. Just like how when you guys were in position, when you guys were in power, you sat there and did shit. Wings and DSP are not innocent by any stretch of the imagination. Both of them have done egregious shit on their ends. Whether they had videos flagged down, videos taken down, try to find out who people were in real life, this, that, and the third. Jesus Christ. Fucking Swaggins, okay? Bitch-made Swaggins is sitting there trying to Google docs motherfuckers who come into Phil's chat. Well, I don't know if I'd say it's a dox. He's definitely trying to find out if they're linked to Detractor so they can ban them. The fuck, Swaggins? That's what we're doing? I don't even think Vidal end up going that far with that shit. Phil's not innocent. Does he deserve everything that comes at him? Probably not. Actually, more than likely he doesn't. But he's not innocent. And because he didn't think in the long term, because he wanted to sit there and play Billy Badass in his later years, now look at him. Now the only thing that can hold him to it is the money. But that's only because he can't get money nowhere else. And he can sit there and cry and complain about this guy did this guy do that. But all the guys he bitching and complaining about are younger than him. We're all younger than, well, most of us are younger than Phil. So he can sit there and cry and complain all you want. But I'm not the one who's 36, who's fucking losing his hair, who has gout, who has who knows what other alleged chronic illnesses that he has, and has to pander to kids on fucking on Twitch and YouTube. That's not me. That's not Tevin. That's not Theo. You know what I'm saying? That's not James the Lesser. That's not Mighty D. That's not Memology. That's not David Davison. You know, Volt Boy. That's not Argent. That's not those people. You chose to do this, and you chose to do it poorly. And you chose it, and you chose to do it brain dead easy. And now in your later years, you want respect. You want acknowledgement, and you can't get it. And you may never get it. And this is the reality you have to live with. And yet you want to cry to these kids in between Call of Duty games about it. I thought we don't talk about these fucking problems during the gameplay, and it's supposed to be about the gameplay. Ladies and gentlemen, this was in a YouTube video. Sorry about that. This was in a YouTube video. But yet we're the brain dead idiots. He's stuck doing this. He has to do this day in, day out because he ain't got no goddamn choice. He has to deal with that. He has to live with that. Enjoy. Dspnews.
Dark Helmet did a 187-bit cheer and said the worst bit is when you hang up the cleats and stop being a content creator and you try going back to the real world because employers are going to see this with a cursory search, even in LinkedIn and whatnot. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right, because there's so much negative slanderous shit. So much negative slanderous shit about me all over the internet that's not true. But again, you know, now employers use things like you know, just a quick internet search on a name, and they're gonna see all this stupid shit that's completely untrue. You know? And what can I do about it? Nothing. Why is that on there? Well, because for 10, 15 years, I was a live streamer and content creator on the internet, and all these little shithead kids decided to go after me.
Why am I toxic? More toxic, more toxic.
Because they realized I was just some small potatoes guy and didn't have any money to sue them, so they slanderously just kept saying more ridiculous things about me over the years, to the point where it actually became like an internet meme, a popular thing to do about me, and people actually got money and popularity based off of just making fun of me and my content, even though none of the shit they ever said was true.
I've become a meme.
None of the shit was ever true, yet there's video footage that proves everything you said. Secondly, why is this even a conversation? He's not going to go back to the private sector anyway. He's not going to go. What's he going to do? His degree, or at least in his field, is kind of, I wouldn't say it's null and void, but he's been out the loop. So it's not like he can go back in at ground level as if someone who graduated last year, for example, and then go in and get the same amount of money. He can't do that. He didn't even keep up in the field. So he doesn't even know what's going on and what's not. And he has no plans of going back anyway. He already said that. He makes so much money doing what he does that there's no need to go back. He'd be a buffoon to do so. So that's a moot point either which way. You guys are just wasting your breath talking on that. It was unnecessary. It was never going to happen. And his own words are going to hang him. Not anything a detractor does. His own words hanged him. Just like with that whole Twitch sponsorship thing. They didn't know who they were sponsoring. Someone dropped them a line, a package. They viewed it and they were like, oh shit, no, we don't want this. What? Do you feel bad because, he got screwed on day one? You think the company would have felt any differently whether it was day 1 or day 100? It doesn't matter. If it was day 100 and they saw that and they were like, oh boy, we can't have that. And they can't. Not when they're in a pool, when they're in a literal ocean of content creators on Twitch that they have to choose from. They don't have to settle. And that's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Phil still lives like this is 2009, 2010, where, they have to settle. There's too many choices out here. Way too many choices. There's too many people out here putting in a real effort in whatever they do. Hell, the detractors put in more effort than he does. Phil still lives in the mindset that there's only a few of them and that's it. There's only a few of the content creators who bring the raw gameplay or who do real gamers. That's not how it works anymore. There's tens of thousands of people now. Phil's just somebody lost in that shuffle. He's been lost in that shuffle for a long time. All the advantages and all the opportunities that he had to be, if not the head of the pack, at least, in the middle, where there was real substance, he gave all that up a long time ago to keep it easy, to keep it simple. And because he was rewarded for it by being overpaid all that money, he never gave it up. And now look, now he's in a climate where he needs to work hard. He needs to put effort. He needs to try, and he can't do it. Imagine that.
On the the internet. Be like, oh, I'm a crotchety old 36-year-old streamer, and I don't like the memes, so I banned them from my chat.
And would an employer actually care about that? Right? Or would they say, fuck, well, we can't deal with that? I don't know. Oh my god, what is it with those people being fudas and boxers and I don't know what's going on. Someone gave me a $20 tip, but it's obvious that they're trying to get attention for detractors because they're bringing up you-know-who, so I'm not going to address it. I appreciate the $20 tip, but you know very well I'm not going to bring stuff up like that, dude.
And hilarious that I do this for a living, right? And I make way more money than Tevin, even though I have way less viewers. Let's think about that for a second.
Kanji Monster says, how do you know when there's a new detractor meme? Usually they come in here and they start, I'll notice, for example, someone will come in here and start talking about something all the time. Like, turkey burger. A bunch of accounts start mentioning turkey burger out of nowhere. Or, you know, something really stupid. Everyone will ask me the same question in one night. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's how I know there's a new meme. Because everyone's so fucking brain dead, they all gotta repeat it like a parrot. Blah, 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 blah. Probably got a cracker, probably got a cracker. Meme, meme, meme. So brainless and fucking stupid, but they've all gotta come in here and repeat it like dumb fucks.
Basically, here's a whiny baby.
Alright, I mean, I guess I should update the tips total.
That's not proof of anything, to be honest. I mean, that's just you. That's you making something that's not really there, to be honest. Especially the turkey burger thing. That's all you eat, and hot dogs, and Swanson meals. That's pretty much it. And you tell us this. Remember, Phil? Turkey burger, toasted bun, lettuce, tomato, some onions, and then a side of your choice. Potato salad, coleslaw, whatever's available to you. Sometimes fries. That's not hard. So, yet again, how's that a meme when that's what you do? Almost daily, especially when you were single. And if it is a meme, then ignore it. It's not like it's not true. So if it's, you know, if it really bothers you so much, A, change your diet, B, stop talking, or C, ignore it. I don't know.
Problem is, you never know what these assholes who do these negative tips, they're gonna try to charge them back. And like I told you guys, not once have they ever succeeded, but it's still annoying as shit.
Most of the tips that I get, I don't get that. A lot of the tips don't go through. That's happened a lot, where it says there's a tip and then I look and it's gone. For whatever reason, the bank declined it or whatever. It sucks, but, you know, it sucks when it doesn't go through.
And I really don't like giving them credit for contributing when in reality they're just doing it to try to get negative attention, so... But I'll put it up there for the sake of transparency. Yes, this person did tip $20, although I don't know if it's going to actually, stick. But Jedi Tony will stay at the top of the leaderboard because I'm not going to put Detractor stuff up there, as a contributor. I'm just not going to do it. Proofs said it really is like a bunch of children who can't think for themselves and only copy others. Right! That's really what memes are. Sometimes memes aren't even funny or don't even make sense. It's just for the sake of repeating something and saying you knows what it is. Oh, I'm part of something that thousands of other people know what it is, so har, it's a meme. But it's not even funny or make any logical sense for a brain-dead person.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hello, my children. The bottom line is, guys, I view all of you as independent, intellectual, intelligent individuals who have actively chosen to come on my streams, watch my stuff, and have fun with me. Give me your money. You know what I stand for. You know the kind of person I am. You enjoy either my personality or the way I play games or the rage or whatever it may be. You like me for some reason. Give me your money. And you're here to have a good time. And that's all I care about. I don't need to create some kind of a weird mob mentality. Give me your money.
Caesar, here's the thing. I now know there's a new meme. The new meme is my camera. The new meme is people are making fun of the quality of my webcam. That it's too low quality. Because it's not one person that said it. Within the last day, like 10 people said it in here. That's how I know it's a detractor meme. Because there's no chance that everyone at once collectively would think, oh gee, maybe Phil's camera could look a little bit better. No, it's someone on a stream probably stealing my content, saying it, and then everyone has to parrot it. Because we're all little mindless fucking ninnies, right? We're all fucking brainless morons with drool coming out of our fucking mouths. So we gotta say what that guy said on stream. What am I doing in the bathroom? What does it look like? I'm taking a...
That's actually not completely true, to be honest with you. People have been shitting on his webcam for a while, to be honest. What Phil did, and this goes back to a situation with Patreon, like I said, that's why it's only half true, is is when Phil first started his Patreon, yeah, he did it almost exclusively for a new mic, soundproofing, and a new camera. And then he ended up, then later on, it was to help with Project 7. I plan to go over that video later, because I found Tevin's video on it, as well as some other interesting videos too. And so that's why the whole Project 7 thing was a giant ripoff, because he was getting, oh, I don't know, 6 or 7 months worth of Patreon, and didn't come through with it. Also, he was asking for a camera, a wide lens, and whatnot, which he's turning into a meme. He's bringing attention to it. He wanted a camera with an extremely large lens that he can't work because he wanted to up his quality. Thing is, ladies and gentlemen, is even back in his day, he could have gotten that done without a wide lens camera. He just doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And more importantly, he doesn't know how to, like I said, he would have to, or sorry, like Tevin said, he would have to do a lot of the extra work in post. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to learn how to use filters. He's going to have to learn how to mess with layers and things of that sort. He's going to have to do a lot of it in post. Or in, well, yeah, after the actual recording. He's going to have to do that, and he doesn't want to. He wants to buy a high-end camera and get it done. You know what I'm saying? He wants to have one of those like really nice ones that like Casey Neistat has. He wants to get one of those and believe it does everything. If you've ever watched the Casey Neistat video, though, you can tell that there's still work that goes into it even after the picture's done. Or after the video's been taken and so on and so forth. Phil don't understand that, though, because Phil's a fucking idiot. So now he's sitting here, he's going off for one or two things he may have heard or may have saw, because you know he's a goddamn hawk when it comes to his chat, and then he plays that up. Oh, well, you know, hey guys, these guys are making a meme out of my camera and my camera quality, so maybe if you guys, you know, donate a little bit of money to me so I can get a better camera, we wouldn't have to worry about that, and they'll stop coming here and messing with us. What he's doing is he's trying to plant the seeds and whatnot, and trying to lay down the groundwork, being very lazy about it, to try to build up to getting a new camera, because he's wanted one for years. He's wanted one for years, and the camera that he has is probably on his last leg. It doesn't have a lot of time left, and he knows it. He did the same thing with the PS4 Pro, if you guys don't believe me. And with the television, he did the same thing with that too. It's a pattern, ladies and gentlemen. Dspnews.
Fucking shit in this disgusting, dirty bathroom that, look, no one ever cleaned it. It's fucking gross, full of mold and shit. I'm taking a dump right now, here. I'm taking a dump. And I'm looking at the door with my gun ready in case someone tries to come in while I'm taking a dump. That's what I'm doing.
This is how you win Battle Royale. People don't believe me. This is how you win. You sit in the fucking bathroom. This is why Fortnite sucks. You can't do this in Fortnite. You can't take an extended dump in Fortnite. Right? There's a guy camping there. Oh my god, these fucking pussies. Super pussy.
Alright, top 14. Told you, all I gotta do is sit here. All I gotta do is fucking sit here. Top 13. All I gotta do is sit here, let them kill each other. I might win. This is how you play Battle Royale. What I'm doing right now is how you play. He's either coming in the building next to me or the room next to me. Yep, he's coming in.
Wow. Toxify it.
Poor guy. Okay, top 6. Alright, now I gotta leave. Top 5. Made my top 5 for the night. Top 4. I sit back. Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety. Can't get up here. I'm safe. Top 3. Nah.
You don't fuck with me. I know how to play this game.
Laser instability detected. Safe zone evac orders are in effect. Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
baby! That's what I'm...
And now, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys got to see there in that last little bit, that was a shit tactic. I mean, granted, that guy, the sniper, had really no choice. You know what I'm saying? The barrier was basically creeping up on him or her, and they really couldn't move. They had no choice but to move forward. Phil had his little doom shield out and had all the advantage in the world. All he had to do was wait the person out. But Phil camped the whole goddamn game to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the only way Phil can get a win, then fine, so be it. But don't sit there and say that you're good at the game. Now, when I compare him to Wings, Wings didn't do it like that. His camping was a bit different. He was a bit more proactive. First off, what he did is he used to take over areas so he could hold ground, and then he would progressively move up. Phil don't do that. Phil, being the piece of shit that he is, does what a piece of shit does. Sits in the toilet like a goddamn nugget and waits until he gets flushed. That's essentially what happened.
Talking about... That's what I'm talking about. What did I say? You camp, you win, baby. That's how you win in the fucking blackout. That is how you win. Fuck that guy trying to snipe my ass. Fuck that shit.
Someone give this this overweight seal some sardines or something. Okay, the guy did win. No one can take that from him. So someone give him some salty fish or something. Okay, he was a good seal.
Super pussy.
For those who say I don't know how to play, I don't know what I'm doing, how about a nice fucking victory for you, huh? That's what I'm talking about, baby. So that's my 4th? Yeah. 1 in the beta, 3 in the final version so far. Good stuff. Is it time to camp? Is it time to camp? At top 40, should I camp? Oh my god. Alright, someone told me...
So 1 in the beta, and then 3 in the regular game. So what is that? Shit. I'd almost... I mean, what is that? Like a win every... roughly every, like, month and a half? That's kind of like that Jay-Z line that he had for Nas. He's like, what, 4 albums in 10 years? Man, I can divide. It's kind of like that, Phil. It's not something to be happy about or proud of. But let the seal get what he can. See, that's kind of sad, too. Just imagine you being 36 years old, playing games for a living, and this is the only way you can get wins. And when you get them, you boast about it like you did something special. Like something that really is going to be cemented. Like that's what you're kind of putting your life on. Oh, I can play this game. Look at me, I camped in a bathroom for fucking 3 minutes. Like, that's not something to be proud of. I don't even know if I would say even playing games for a living would be proud of. I'll do it. I'll definitely do it. But I don't think that's something I would just go ahead and put under my Twitter bio. I don't think that's something that I would go to a family reunion and talk about. You know what I'm saying? Unless you were giving insight on games too. You know, like a game tester or some shit like that. That's different. But, I don't know. Whatever. Take a win any way you can get it. And that's the Phil Burnell way.
That Wings of Redemption got banned for 2 weeks. Can someone tell me what happened? Why he got banned for 2 weeks? So I know it's something I shouldn't be doing. Anyone know actually what happened? He was gonna leak people's PayPal info? Why would he do that? Maybe it was, oh, I see. Maybe there was a troll, and he thought if he leaked their PayPal info, he could get back at them or something. No, that's a no.
Now, here's the funny part. Phil's like, how did he do that? Phil knew what happened. He knew what happened early. Because, like when Phil sits there and ruins the game, certain segments of games, it's because he's looked that up already. So that's what allows him to breeze through it, and that's why he can kind of tell you the story as he's breezing through it. Same concept. I don't know why he bothers doing that. He just makes himself look like a hypocrite. But he knows why Wings got banned. And the funny thing is, right, is you would think if he would to make himself less of a piece of shit, he would reach out to Wings and be like, "Hey, Wings, man, you probably shouldn't have gone about it that way. You know, you probably shouldn't have did that." But Phil's gonna be like, "Man, fuck all that. That's not my problem. Fucking idiot." He got what he got. And that's what Phil feels like. That's how he approaches things. You know?
Oh, no. Oh, hell no. That's considered a dox threat. You can't do that shit, man. Oh, shit, he's right there. Fuck, you still have
I have your name, I have your... I have your name, I have your IP, and I have your address. Remember that, Phil? Dox threat.
I only needed 2 shots, but he moved. I think he went back down. Oh, there he is. Fuck. Well, that didn't work. Well, I guess I gotta leave now. He knows I'm here now. How the fuck did he see me down there? Alright, forget it. Jesus Christ. I think he's a little angry. You think the guy was a little pissed? Holy fuck, he came after me. Viciously. You ever notice I win these matches against the kangaroo jumpers? I still win. You can tell someone's 5 years old when they jump around, or they have the mentality of a 5-year-old if they're jumping around in a game like this. I know if I hop around like a kangaroo, I'll survive. You're a fucking moron.
And then you people, Phil's a toxic streamer. No.
Yeah, he is a toxic. Well, first off, as it pertains to that guy we saw there, he could have won that gunfight. He could have. He was overly aggressive and whatnot. He could have literally just smoked Phil out. But you know, it is what it is on that. As it pertains to the hop shooting, at least as it pertains to Call of Duty and most first-person shooters, to be honest, it's been around for a long ass time. So that's nothing new. I don't know why Phil's making that shit seem like that's bigger than what it is. It's a tactic, especially since it makes your sprite. It basically compacts your sprite when you're doing it, so it makes a much smaller target. Hence the reason why people do it in the first place. But you know, Phil only plays games for money. He doesn't play it to actually learn how to play it or get good at it. So what would he know?
Oh, you actually tried to make me look like that. Good lord. Learn how to play a game, dude. Put some effort into it. What?
I'd rather sit on a toilet than jump around like a kangaroo. Alright, time to relax. Top 23, let's do it. Let's do it. Time to fucking relax. Chill out, man. Here, consumer.
Here we go again, just camping.
Blue Ripper, he says, let's sit here and not show off how to play the game. I already killed a bunch of people. You want me to do? I already killed people. Now it's time to camp. This is how you win. This is how you get wins.
Super pussy.
You're right, I killed 2 people. The 2 people I ran into are now dead. No one has survived.
So much for putting in effort, right?
I have to lock. I'm so dangerous. I have to lock myself inside this stall. Because if I step out, I'll just start killing people willy-nilly. We can't have that. We can't have me getting all the kills. Right?
Oh my god. It's terrible. It's disgusting in my opinion. Like, I'm actually disgusted.
Do I want to win or the stream to have fun? When I win, the stream has fun. So there's your answer.
You're a hypocrite, and you're an asshole, and you're an evil person. I'm an evil bastard.
Holy shit, down to top 6.
Be advised. Further collapse expected. Relocate to safe zone.
I got killed by someone else. Yeah. Someone else got me.
And there's a reason why for that. So, if you've ever seen Phil play any first-person shooter, right, he's very single-minded in his tactics. If any of you guys have ever played Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that, you kind of understand. Call of Duty especially, because it's a Twitch shooter, is that you should never be focused on one person in particular. That's how it gets you killed. Rule of thumb in Call of Duty, for example, is everybody comes in twos. You kill one guy, trust me, there's another dude coming around the corner, or is going to hit a flank, or just another person that's right behind that one. Phil never picked any of that up. And that's why he gets killed the way he does. When Phil gets kills on people, it's either because he caught them slipping, because he isn't paying no attention to himself and he just ran into them, and he just happened to pull up first. Like Kimberly said, he is a quick squirter. Or, he literally has found somebody else who isn't paying attention like himself, who just killed someone who's injured, not paying attention to their surroundings, and he bops them off too. It's basically all by chance. It's literally rock, paper, scissors when you watch Phil play. Whereas if you watch somebody like Scumpy from Team Optic, Marka J, let's see, who else do I really like to watch? What's that dude's name? Oh, 8 Thoughts. No, not 8 Thoughts. I mean, he plays Call of Duty too. He's actually pretty good at it. But he's not who I'm thinking about. I'm thinking of Fisticuff. If you watch those guys play, like guys who really play seriously and shit, you know. Like, you can tell the way they line up their shots, the way they position themselves, that they're ready for multiple engagements. Phil isn't. He just chases down every little thing that's in front of him, whatever he thinks is easy prey. And to be honest, this is going to be considered a reach by most people, but just hear me out. The way he plays these type of games, or well, at least the way he plays Call of Duty, kind of reflects in some ways on how he treats it, on how he lives his life. Everything's easy. Everything has to kind of stumble upon him. You know what I'm saying? He's not willing to sit there and put himself out there, willing to take a risk. He's not willing to do that. He would rather play it safe and easy. Even if he can't win, if he can get into the top 5, he'll settle. You know what I'm saying? Just something to think about. But that's how Phil gets down.
Oh yeah, I believe I'm a walking contradiction. Oh my god.
Yes, your mate crate. If I hit $200 in tips tonight, I will dab again. I will. However, at this point, only a half an hour left, and we're $97 to go. I don't think we're gonna do it. It would be nice if we did, but I'm not seeing it.
Disgusting beggar.
Surprise, asshole! I got level 2 armor. He just stood there and took it. Dude, he's got the auger. Oh my god, he got the fucking auger. What a moron. What did he think was going to happen? Someone just said, oh, that guy was doing the DSP. Wrong. DSP does not camp that early in the match. DSP camps later on in the match when it makes fucking sense to camp. You don't camp in the first 5-10 minutes of a match of Blackout. You wait till the circle's much smaller, and then you camp on that shit. That's the back door, right? Oh no, it's the bathroom. Okay, time to camp.
Here we go again, just camping.
You wanna know when it's time to camp? Right now. Here I am. Right? Here we are.
See what I'm saying? This right there is kind of the example of what I was just saying earlier about how he treats this shit like how he kind of treats life. He finds a tactic that works, and he stays comfortable with it, and he goes back to it. Let's say this, for example. This can be an ugly one, but go with me. Just walk with me on this one for a minute. So, Panda, right? Nice girl, a little bit overly aggressive, has some issues. You know what I'm saying? She showed him a little bit of attention. He latched onto it and pretty much never let it go. Cat, another example. Someone has a little bit of issues, showed him a little bit of attention, latched onto it, found some of her vulnerabilities, went along with it. There you go. It's the same thing. Look at some of the people that's in his fan base, the hardcore fan base. All them dudes are it's damn near cookie cutter type situations. Yeah, they're individuals, not the Sargon type shit, but they're individuals. But they all kind of fall into that same type of syndrome. The ones who fall out are the ones who are brave enough to do so, or the ones who grew the fuck up. But for the rest of these guys, you got people as old as Phil is who support him and deal with his man-child type behavior and shit. And justify it. This is the type of people that Phil attracts to himself. You know what I'm saying? At least now. At least in his later years. You know what I'm saying? Because the fan base is dried up. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of just grabbing on to whoever, will take his side. And he chooses people who he feels that are vulnerable, people who he can manipulate. People who are generous enough that he can, if they can just see things the way he sees it, that they'll more than likely give him money. It's a scary situation. Dspnews.
Almost top 20. Don't know where the circle's gonna go. No clue. Now's the time to camp. Now we sit here and wait. I got level 3 armor. I got tons of healing. I got a good mid-range gun, a good long-range gun. I got some chuckables. I got everything I need.
You're not a real gamer.
Thank you to everyone who did contribute tonight. Looks like we're not gonna hit the tips goal. What can you do? At least, I made some headway, so thank you for that, guys.
When you hear Dark Side Phil, the first thing you think of, oh, that's the guy who had an accident. That's the guy who's this negative thing or that negative thing. Most people don't even know I have a 10-year legacy on YouTube. Most people don't know I did videos on YouTube for 2 years before I ever made any money. And I actually have outlived a lot of YouTubers or I've been doing this much longer than most people who do it for a living. Most people don't know that I'm the most prolific gaming YouTuber there is. I've put out more gameplay videos and playthroughs and hours of gameplay in the last 10 years than any other human on planet Earth.
This is very exciting gameplay.
Yeah, but what does any of that mean, Phil, when you sat there and squirted that off in 30 seconds? For all and if those aren't even really accolades, but if you want to, take a win the way you can get it. If you want to go ahead and spew off all that, if you want to go ahead and throw all that out and all the reasons why people should value you and people should praise you and this, that, and the third, not for your humanity, you know what I'm saying? Not for all the generous things that you've done, all those charities that you don't ever talk about, or all those people who had a shitty day or who felt suicidal or whatever, etc., that you've said about. Oh no, look at what I perceive to be accomplishments. But then, Phil, when you go back to the jerking off thing, I mean, you squirted that all away in like 30 seconds. Imagine that. Imagine all those accolades that you sat there and spewed off, and all of it to be literally gone in 30 seconds. And Phil doesn't realize that. Like, it's the things that you do, not the things that you've accomplished. It's the things that you do that hurt you. Hurt you more than anything. So no company wants to fucking sponsor an asshole who sat there and squirted off in front of kids. Even if they weren't all kids. It makes you look like a goddamn buffoon. You can't trust them. You can't put your branding on that. You can't do it. It just don't work. It just doesn't work. Like I said, that business degree didn't teach you shit.
This is how you play the game. This is exactly how you play this game. This is how I play the game! This is what you're supposed to do. So, Timbo Slice says, you're the next MLG champion for Blackout. Your name will be the shitty camper.
No, 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 no. What the fuck? Are you fucking serious?
I'm okay in here. Oh my god, top 3. The other guy's right near me.
Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety.
Two wins!
This is what kids do. The mentality of a 5-year-old.
2 wins! 2! Not 1, but 2 in 1 night! 2 wins, 1 night! Oh my god, the perfect victory. That was beautiful. That was fucking perfect, dude. Are you kidding me? The perfect victory. Oh my god. Amazing. What did I say? Oh my god. I know how to win these games twice in 1 night. Yeah, I'm a gamer! I'll never do that again. I'll never win 2 games in 1 night again. No way. No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. You must take a dump for at least 5 to 10 minutes every match. That's how you win. So, there you go. And that's it. Some people... Whoa, hold on a second. Thuggins just tipped me $25. It's a nice one, Phil.
You are my bitch. Thank you for the free money, dummy. And you can lick my balls.
So we're actually ended up tonight at... Let's see here. That would be 36, right? We ended it tonight at... Whoa, that's not right. Holy shit. 136. Well, 136. We didn't hit the goal, but we did pretty good. Thank you for that, Thuggins, for that final tip, $25. I just got another $4 hit from No 9 to 5 Gaming. Says, gotta give it to you. The toilet stalling tactic worse. Nice job. 2-Bar King also did 100 bit cheer. Thank you, 2-Bar King. Alright, so you got up to 140 tonight. Alright. No dab, though. I told you guys I would dab if we hit the goal. We didn't, so sorry. Alright, I'm serious. I'm just sticking to my guns.
It's Tevin's fault.
And we also know that he uses view bots constantly.
So it doesn't matter what his views are, and it doesn't matter what he fucking says or does. He's a fucking criminal. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis.
Oh, I was hoping to catch it before he puts the pill on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. A rather sad situation, to say the very least. What more can I really tell you? Like I said, Cat staying downstairs is Cat staying downstairs. Phil will take a win however he can get it. Cat theoretically is a win. You know what I'm saying? Even though she needs to be with someone a little bit more positive, a little bit more sensitive, and a little bit more caring to her. Let's be honest, she's done her dirt too. Phil's definitely not it. It's kind of just having it's kind of like having someone who has some issues, who's done some shit, getting with someone who's just a complete piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like being in a really toxic relationship. Eventually it bleeds over. But that's neither here nor there. As it pertains to him as a gamer, I mean, as I said before, Phil's mad that people make jokes about him. He is the joke. And his gaming accolades are no different. It is what it is. It's a long one. But this was pretty cool. Actually, it's been a while since I've done that. Some of the last videos have been kind of short for whatever reason. But I don't know. You guys get a mixed bag, I guess. Some variety never really hurts. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh, yes. A GTG Network Productions. I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Thank you guys very much. I very much appreciate it. I'll see you guys for the next broadcast. End the broadcast.
Money, I ain't never need a sugar daddy. I'm the belle of the poor. You can call me Patty. You can take one.